Hi everyone, this is set 3 of Algebra SAT Practice Level 2. We want to find the value of Z in terms of P, Q, and R, so we want something like Z equals that. So it's like a literal equation. Here are your 5 answers, so I suggest you pause the video and try to do that, and you'll be good. Okay, so the first thing, I'm going to do it on the other side. The first thing, I'm going to do the first part on this side, sorry. The first thing I want to do is cross multiply. So I'm going to cross multiply and I'm going to get P times R squared plus Z equals square root of Q plus Z. Now I'm going to go ahead and distribute the P here. So we have PR squared plus PZ equals square root of Q plus Z. Now we're solving for Z, so I want the Z's put together on one side. So I'm going to go ahead and keep the Z's on the left side here, subtract this Z. So I'm subtracting him, and then I'm going to subtract this PR squared. We're going to use the highest common factor, the greatest common factor, and factor out the Z, and you get P minus 1 equals square root of Q minus PR squared. And from here you can probably already see the answer, so when you're taking the test you can finish, but go ahead and finish. You get a square root of Q minus PR squared over P minus 1. So the answer is E. All right. Next one we have two equations, and if you just plow ahead without thinking, you might try to answer this question by solving for one variable at a time. That would work, but it would take a lot more time than this question. So what we want to do is look at our two equations and set them up kind of more in a linear terms. This is 3s plus 5t equals 10, and it's 2s minus t equals 7. And what I want to do is subtract these, and I'll show you why in a minute. You'll get s plus 6t equals 3. Now, if you look at this compared to what we're looking for, all we have to do is divide everything by 2. So if I divide each of these by 2, I get 1/2 s plus 3t equals 3/2, which equals 1.5. So kind of think about what you're doing to save time when you're taking the test. Okay? Now the next one we have is absolute value type equation. And so the way I tend to do it is I set it up like this. I'll set it up with two tables. So I'm going to set up, let me see what we have again. I'm going to write this without the brackets and copy this same thing down. So I'm going to write 2/3 u minus 5 is greater than 8. And then I'm going to write 2/3 u minus 5 is less than negative 8. You should have learned this procedure in Algebra 2, but if you probably did and you don't remember. But if you set it up like this, it becomes a lot easier. So you're going to get solve for both sides. 2/3 u is greater than 13, and multiply both sides by 3/2. So multiply both sides by 3/2. You're going to get u is greater than 39 over, let me do 3/2 here, 39 over 2. And this side, we get 2/3 u is less than, you're adding 5 to both sides, is going to be negative 3. The same thing, multiply both sides by 3/2. I'll put it over on this side. You get u is less than negative 9 over 2. So the answer is C. Go back to C. Okay. All right. So I guess that's it for that set. Okay, the next 3 sets we're doing is actually kind of a repeat of this with a little different concepts. Thank you and have a nice day. Bye-bye.